Good afternoon, I'm Dan, and I'll be discussing my project The Riverbed, an urban renewal project with the aim to conserve the local character of the Parramatta CBD amidst rapid urban development. This project was initiated in response to the oral stories of 3 Sydney residents who expressed their relationship with change in reference to the substantial societal and urban development that occurred throughout the early 20th century, all of whom convey the struggle of challenging it and the opportunity that it provided them to create a world better suited to their vision. Similarly, in the modern day, the city of Parramatta, located in Sydney's west at the tail of the Parramatta River, is experiencing major developmental change to its physical fabric and to its underlying culture as it becomes the central city of Greater Sydney. This puts its local community at risk of displacement as that which makes Parramatta unique faces tremendous change in the upcoming years. These developments include primarily the construction of a large number of high-rise office buildings and flats, as well as public space projects which seek to reimagine the layout of Parramatta as a whole. The local character of a city is found at the intersection between the physical and the abstract as a collective experience of its residents and of its visitors. It is what makes a city distinct in its cultural motifs, societal norms, and physical form. Parramatta has a culturally complex local character owing to its divisive history and cosmopolitan present. The characteristic traits which specifically relate to Parramatta were defined by subjective experience and by the city's enduring history to be its low-rise high street, its low-cost cuisine, its convict heritage, its diverse community, its indigenous background, and the Parramatta River itself to which the city owes its foundation. These character items are prevalent throughout the city, being found most prominently along Church Street, also known as Eat Street, which is at the heart of the CBD. To ensure that these characteristics are not stubbornly preserved but develop alongside the growth of the city, a character precinct will be established in the heart of Parramatta, which seeks to provide a functional space for residents and employees to gain a greater understanding of their suburb and what makes it valuable and unique. This space will require green spaces, locally created art, locally owned retail, heritage rehabilitation, public facilities, and event spaces, so that it may become a vitally important asset to the local community. The character precinct will be located within the Horwood Place block at the centre of the city, within walking distance of the train station, the Parramatta River, and local commercial hubs. Although the interior of this city block experiences little pedestrian traffic, it is surrounded by some of the busiest parts of the city on the cusp of its commercial and business precincts. This ensures that it will be highly accessible to both local residents and employees, as well as become a daily part of Parramatta's social and commercial lives. The Horwood Place block is comprised of a number of individual retail spaces, 3 larger malls, a range of office blocks, the Parramatta City Centre car park, and the historical Roxy Theatre, which displays the great diversity of function and form present. There are also 2 smaller open-air car parks at the east and west extent of the block, with access points to the site on all 4 of its edges. There are a number of existing proposals which similarly plan to redevelop the Horwood Place block, to which this project will work in conjunction with where possible, and attempt to integrate said plans into the future of this part of the city. This includes most prominently the proposed civic link, which extends through the centre of the site with the intention to create a pedestrianised urban corridor, which would see the demolition of the central car park, parts of the Parra Mall, and a portion of the 47 George Street heritage item to redirect vehicular traffic. This block is also designated to be the location of the Parramatta Metro Station, which would be located within what is currently the central car park. The Riverbed, an urban oasis, designed in tribute to Parramatta's most noteworthy trait, seeks to conserve the character of the Parramatta CBD alongside the rapid urban development occurring in its city centre. Much like the meandering banks of the Parramatta River, the Riverbed Character Precinct will provide the local community with an environment rich for social interaction, cultural enrichment, and greater community engagement, within a setting which has their interests at heart. This precinct will involve a number of functional and valuable spaces which encourage intercultural learning and strengthening of communal ties. It will make use of much of the existing buildings, partially preserving their function, while maximising what they can offer to the people of Parramatta. As it is, this site contains many features characteristic of the city, but remains mostly underutilised and has a lot of potential for redevelopment into a community centre, rather than an urban backstreet. Redevelopments will include 3 minor green spaces where the outdoor car parks currently exist, the reactivation of heritage items, the pedestrianisation of Horwood Place and surrounding lanes, and a major overhaul of the city centre car park with a central community space and additional retail opportunities on its southern face. These 3 green spaces will provide the local community with a respite to relax, to play, and to give them a brief escape from the cityscape. Each will serve a differing function tailored to their surroundings, the easternmost park being an outdoor stage in conjunction with the Roxy Theatre, the central one being a small pocket park with access to Para Mall, and the western one being a family-oriented recreational park with outdoor dining and barbecue stations. The 3 malls on site, plus an additional strip of retail spaces, will represent the diversity of people within Parramatta as they host low-cost cuisine options which are a medium for positive community engagement. These represent Parramatta's largest ethnic groups, which cater towards East Asian, South Asian, Middle Eastern and Western cuisine, whilst also activating the interior and exterior of these spaces. To ensure the viability of these options, additional outdoor spaces will add on to existing and new retail to offer outdoor, laneway-style dining in an effort to reactivate these areas. The Roxy Theatre will undergo a refurbishment as well as a reactivation of its periphery, which includes an additional outdoor stage to its east. As it is at the north main access point to the character precinct, an art promenade to its western wall will display and celebrate local artists. The central car park will undergo a major transformation and become a community hub at the heart of the CBD. While its top 3 levels will retain their parking spaces to ensure easy access to the site from the greater Parramatta LEP, its bottom 3 levels will be redeveloped into a multi-use retail/public space building, with a large open atrium being at the heart of this project. This large atrium will include a community centre, a continuation of the Civic Link with an integrated smart hub, and an open-air basketball court to its east. On the 2nd and 3rd floor, there will be leasable rooms with the intention to be used by members of the community for personal or group meetings, seminars, lectures, or lessons. On the periphery of the car park are existing and additional retail spaces with access to the surrounding lanes. The relationship between these outdoor green spaces, functional buildings, and the interior open spaces creates a dynamic setting which encourages communication between Parramatta's differing subcultures in an active and inviting environment. By retaining its primarily low-rise form and by integrating the existing buildings on site, the Riverbed Character Precinct lies seamlessly within the Parramatta cityscape at large, while performing as a unique function within the city. This proposal will effectively integrate the Civic Link master plan within its own layout by adjusting the location of the Smart Hub and the City Stage segments. The northeast of the Character Precinct features a small green space where currently exists a small car park in service of the Roxy Theatre and adjacent dining arcade. This space will serve as an extension to the refurbished Roxy Theatre as an outdoor stage for amateur performances and events with tiered sandstone seating to its west. The arcade is currently and will continue to cater towards East Asian cuisine and will effectively support this region of the Character Precinct. In the northwest of the site is located the largest green space in the riverbed, with connections to the Horwood Place pedestrianised street and the 2 adjacent malls, to which an outside extension serves as the primary dining area. This park is catered towards families and small events, with great tree coverage, sandstone seating, and a number of barbecue areas throughout, to create an inviting and active atmosphere, which is to allow for visitors to forget that they are in the middle of a bustling city. The central car park is at the heart of a riverbed, with direct connection to the pedestrianised street, adjacent malls, and lanes to its south and east. This multi-use complex integrates retail spaces, being home to the Middle Eastern quarter of the site, and a community-oriented atrium and leasable rooms, bringing together all the character traits of Parramatta into one place. This activates the community centre and gives it purpose outside of its underlying function, creating bonds through recreational and formal activity. The Riverbed Character Precinct will help guide Parramatta towards a more positive future, as it ensures that the city retains those traits which make it distinct, valuable and attractive, while not forgetting what made the city great to begin with. Thank you for listening to my project.